Top 10 teams heading into week 8 of the National Football League. Here we go. Number 10. What's that number? Hour 2 National Football Show. What's that? 25 and 28. Do you guys know what that is? 25, 28. Jalen Hurts has 25 starts and 28 touchdown passes. I got to look one more thing up. I was in the process of looking this up. Josh Allen stats. Let me take a look at this. Let's take a look at this here. Josh Allen has played in 66 games started. And he has 120 touchdowns. Okay. Shit, let me just take a look at this. Game started. Let me do first 2 years, just as for shits and giggles here. Game started 11, then 16. That's 7. That's 27 games. Oh my God, it's almost the same as Hurts. Okay, good. How many touchdown passes? Okay. Look at that. 57 and 19. Okay. Just checking. Welcome aboard National Football Show. Appreciate everybody coming in here. Big Sil's Power Rankings. What teams have now moved into the top 10? What teams have moved out of the top 10? Who is your number one team in the National Football League? Josh Allen says Anthony was a top 10 pick. Okay. What's your point? Of course he was. You guys are using stats without context. Okay. Hurts doesn't decide to play don't beat me deep defense. Okay. Let's get into this here. These are the big sills. Top 10 teams heading into week 8 of the National Football League. Here we go. Number 10. The 5-2 Tennessee Titans. Anytime you have a defense like that, and anytime you have a running back like Derrick Henry, you're always going to be in the conversation. Let's not forget they were the number 1 seed in the AFC. And they did have the bye at the end of the year last year. And get this, they've started to find a way to win games. It's not sexy. Then again, the Eagles aren't sexy either. As a matter of fact, they almost kind of look like one another. They run the ball. You know, they're effective on third down when it comes to throwing the ball. Not overly effective. But, you know, I mean, they run the ball. They run the ball. They play defense. Got the Titans at number 10. Because I love the coach. I love the organization. Not the sexiest team. Number 9. Franchise quarterback Joe Burrow and the Bengals. After starting 0-2, they're now 4-1 since that time. And they've now run that record to 4-3 on the season. They're starting to play some pretty good ball. It's kind of almost a duplicate of what happened a year ago. Got out to a slow start, and they caught fire. Number 8, Lamar Jackson. They got to win more. They got to win more. And they're not playing that hot on defense. They got to pick it up on that side of the ball, in my opinion. Big Sil's NFL Power Rankings. God, I hate to do this. This is going to make me throw up in my hat here. Number 7, the New York Jets. Ugh. Zach Allen, they're running the ball. They're playing some defense. I don't know, man. I think the Jets had an injury in their offensive line, which is going to hurt them. They'll probably be in the market. Hey, it wouldn't shock me if Joe Douglas has contacted Howie Roseman to try to get Andre Dillard up there. Don't be shocked if you see something like that happen. I doubt that Howie would get rid of Andre Dillard in the season. That would have to be something maybe after the season. But Joe Douglas is in the market looking for an offensive line right now. How about this? Number 6. The greatness of Daniel Jones and the New York Giants at 6-1. I got him 6th, and I'm not believing in him. But it's hard to look at some of the football that's being played by some of these other teams. Notice this. There's no Packers or Bucks in this list. Or Rams. Number 5, the best victory of the year so far for the Eagles. The Vikings win. The Minnesota Vikings. They're not blowing teams out. They're winning close games this year. Games that they lost a year ago, they're winning this year. Probably because there's a different atmosphere in the building because the head coach and the quarterback get along. Number 5, the Vikings. Number 4, the Dallas Cowboys. Dak is back. Dak is back. Oh, so I don't think he really played all that hot against the Lions. When I watch Dak Prescott play, you know what I see? I don't know. Okay? Well, I don't know. Right? Dude, he has not been spectacular. I know they had the number 1 offense a year ago in the NFL. But when I go like this with Dak Prescott, I don't know. Is he better than Cooper Rush? Yes. Does he give him a better chance to win? Yes. Is he an elite quarterback? No. I'm not building my team around Dak Prescott. I'm not building my team around that guy. But if I have to, and I'm stuck with it, the Cowboys are stuck with this. They have to build their team around him. Dude, I told you this, one of the great assets that Jalen Hurts, you think if Jalen Hurts was $45 million and he was making $45 million and he had 6 touchdown passes, the Eagles are building that team around him? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, because free agency would hit that team like a brick. It would hit that team like a brick because the money he makes. The Cowboys can't keep anybody on that. The Eagles are going to be in the same position. If they sign Jalen Hurts to a Dak Prescott contract, you'll be the Cowboys in 2 years. Not being able to keep people. Remember I said that. If you sign Jalen Hurts to a Dak Prescott contract, you'll mirror what the Cowboys are doing with being wedged against the salary cap the entire time and losing pieces on your team. It's a common theme. It's not a Jalen thing. It's a payroll thing. That's why there's a salary cap, and that's why the NFL likes shitty football. They call it parity. That's the mask word for shitty football, parity. They think it's parity. Okay? They think it's parity. But it's really shitty football. I'm not talking about Hurts' contract. I'm telling you right now, if they sign him to it, I'm actually talking more about Dak. If you sign him to a Dak Prescott deal, you'll be the Cowboys in 2 years. You'll lose players like Amari and your O-line. You won't be able to re-sign guys. You have to let them go. Randy Gregory, got to get them out of the building because they make too much money. That's the one thing about signing these quarterbacks all around the league, man. You lose players. Don't you see what they've had to do in Kansas City? They had to restructure their contract so they could keep Orlando Brown in the building. Then when they restructured his contract, Mahomes, twice, they had to let go Tyreek Hill. This is not like some sort of epiphany that I'm coming up with now. Like I said, Dak Prescott kills that team with that salary he makes. He ain't delivering the goods. How many playoff wins does he have? One? Would he beat Seattle? Come on, man. $42 million for one playoff win. Come on, guy. Got to be better than that. You know, you guys shit all over like Aaron Rodgers because he's 13-12. You know, Favre is 14-13, and so is Manning. Dak Prescott's got one playoff win since he's been in Dallas. Yeah, right. That's a great return on investment. Yeah, but he throws for a lot of yards, whatever. And you got to rip your team apart because he makes too much. Joey Harrington, Dak, I don't think so. Dak's better than Joey Harrington. He was a bum. Dominic Sills, the Eagles would certainly lose some players if Hurts got a big deal, but you discredit Howie's ability to finesse the cap and steal players and deals. He's been really great the last 2 years. Why has he still got the Alshon Jeffries $5 million on the salary cap this year? How about them deals? Don't forget all them signs that he made, too, that were dog shit signs. The Carson Wentz deal was a shit deal. The Jeffries deal was a shit deal. Some of them draft trades, last 2 years, he's been brilliant. What about those other things? Take a look at the 2000. I mean, go back 3-4 years and look at some of them drafts. The Jalen Ragers of the world. Here we go. The Big Seals NFL Power Rankings. Titans 10, Bengals 9, Ravens 8, Jets 7, Giants 6, Vikings 5, Cowboys 4. Here are your top 3. Big Seals NFL Power Rankings. Number 3. The Kansas City Chiefs. I've moved them down from 2. I think they're struggling a tad on defense. I still think they lack a pass rusher. I've moved them down for the first time this year to number 3. Kansas City Chiefs are the 3rd best team on the Big Seals Power Rankings. Number 2, the Philadelphia Eagles. In my opinion, are the best team in the NFC. And as I predicted in March, Eagles and Bills will play for the Super Bowl in Glendale, Arizona. It's happened. It's happened. You know, when we made the prediction in March, we were just kind of throwing it out that we looked at the NFC. Remember, we were going all over talking about the NFC teams. Rams should be this. The Packers should be this. The Bucs should be this. The Vikings will be improved, maybe a sleeper team, which has turned out to be the only thing that's actually happened. And that I have to give credit to Xander, because Xander was the first one that says, I like this Vikings team. I started doing some homework on it, and he's right. And here they are sitting at 6-1. JM says Bills won't win a single playoff game. Why? You haven't either. You were annihilated by the Bucs. And by the way, that was one of the greatest playoff games in NFL history, Chiefs and Bills last year. Very doubt we'll see an Eagle game ever like that with Jalen Hurts as a starting quarterback in a battle with Patrick Mahomes. By the way, Mahomes already got a win over Jalen. Bills number 1. So, the Big Seals NFL Power Rankings. Titans, 10. Bengals, 9. Ravens, 8. Jets, 7. Giants, 6. Vikings, 5. Cowboys, 4. Chiefs, 3. Eagles, 2. Congratulations, you moved up finally. And Bills won. Wow. I never thought that I would move the Eagles ahead of the Chiefs because of their quarterback. But when I watch the Chiefs play and I go back and watch their 22, even as good as they played against the Niners, I didn't really think their defense really shook me. And if the Eagles ran the ball at them this year compared to what they did, and get this, let's do this. Watch this with the matchups. Who on that Chiefs team is going to stop A.J. Brown? Name me one guy in that secondary that could stop him. Then you add Goddard into that mix. I mean, and plus, I don't think that front four is as good as people think it is. Okay, I don't. I just don't. I don't see anybody stopping A.J. Brown. Okay, I don't. Look at all around. You're just a Josh Allen groupie, and he will never beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. Really? Dude, do you not listen to the rest of the NFL people with brains, unlike you? That's a transcending player in Buffalo. You're out of your schoolyard, bro. Okay? Xander goes, you're a bit of a Allen groupie. Well, because Allen's the best player in the game. I told you I love greatness. Okay? Well, by the way, seriously, you don't ever really see Jalen becoming Josh Allen, do you? If you do, I mean, right? You think he has an arm like that guy? You think he has the arm talent like that guy who throws 75-yard lasers? Or he's like the magician that Mahomes is? Come on, man. I don't know what you're watching, man. You're watching with them eagle glasses on. Oh, I see it. I bet you do. Hurts is not Allen, you mean? Okay. Sills keeps pom-poms under his desk. I do. Told you, I don't. Somebody asked me what my favorite team was. I don't have one. I don't have a favorite team. I don't root for teams. I root for players. I like watching it. Abanya, Sills, I like your top 10 power rankings. The best. Thank you. Allen is going to be another Jim Kelly. Oh, I see. No, but Jalen, hey, I tweet. Oh, my God, that's right. I did tweet it. Even Xander goes, really? What do you think the odds are Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl in Philly? What's the odds? Let's see. Let me name some of the great Let me see some of the great quarterbacks that never won Super Bowls. NFL Hall of Fame quarterbacks that have never NFL Hall of Fame quarterbacks that never won a Super Bowl.
According to Fox Sports Radio.
So, you think he's going to be better than Warren Moon, Dan Fouts, Fran Tarkington, Dan Marino, Donovan McNabb will even put in there. He's not Hall of Fame, but Randall Cunningham. Not a Hall of Famer, but better than Tarkington, Fouts, Moon, and Marino. That's classic. That's classic. That's classic. Jalen's going to be better than Warren Moon, Marino, Tarkington, and Fouts. Hurts will be better than McNabb. Jaws, Cunningham, and Foles. Wow. Well, Nick's won one. He'll be better than Nick Foles? Well, Nick threw for 26 touchdowns and 2 picks one year and went to the Pro Bowl, and then he actually won a Super Bowl MVP. He'll be better than Wentz? Okay. Dan called Hurts a Hall of Famer? No, I did not. Notice those players were in a different era. Okay. True. You're right, GT. Sills, we didn't see Josh Allen coming. True. But what you did get was this. When he was at Wyoming, his junior year, I said this to everyone. This kid looks really good. Then his senior year, because it's Wyoming, some of the talent around him left, and it looked worse. The coach is under 500 in Wyoming, so he hasn't really gotten any great coaching until he got to Buffalo. When McDermott had Brian Daboll and Ken Dorsey and all these guys around him, he started getting really good coaching. And as he got all that really great coaching, he got better. He started getting better. Look what great coaching can do for you. He did evolve. Dynasty, baby. Just ask Michael Irvin. That's all right. I got you. For every high stat producing quarterback out there that doesn't win Super Bowls, they're mediocre veterans that do. So what's your point? Do you really think that Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl winning quarterback when Michael Vick wasn't? Donovan McNabb wasn't. Let's just stick to Philly. So McNabb, Cunningham, and Vick couldn't win a Super Bowl, but Hurts is going to be better than those careers. Do you truly believe that Jalen Hurts is better than Randall Cunningham? You can't believe that. You can't. Hey, there's no giving Allen will either. I get it. There's no giving. Winning a Super Bowl is so hard, man. Okay. Xander goes, Moon and Kelly were both on the program speaking highly of Hurts. People speak highly of Dak. People spoke highly of Vic. What's that mean? That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lead your team to a Super Bowl. Great. They like him. Andy Reid couldn't get over the hump. Yeah, until he got Mahomes. Mahomes got him that thing. You think you think it's Andy's great 2-minute drills and his clock management? Andy's a great play caller, except with 2 minutes into the half and 2 minutes to close a game out. He just doesn't, those have always been, in Philly, those were issues. Time management to close out a half and to close out a game. You all know what I'm talking about. Andy Reid's not overrated. Andy Reid's a first ballot Hall of Fame coach. He's not overrated. So you don't think this team can win the Super Bowl? Jeremiah, no, not this year. You're not going to beat the Bills. You're going to get there, though. You're going to get there. Hurts will be Super Bowl winner because he's on a mission to prove everyone wrong. That's what gets it done. He's better than Kevin Cobb. He's better than corn on the cob. Man. Holy cow. Look, you're making me do this here, man. And I want to pull it back in to reality here. What he's doing, I told you this, man. look, the bottom line is that Jalen is redefining that offense in Philadelphia to being something that's nowhere in the league. So when we're comparing him, it is a joke when you compare him to Mahomes' offense or you compare him to the Allen offense in Buffalo. It's a joke. However, the offense that they're building for him in Philly is pretty awesome. It is. They're putting all the pieces they can around him. So again, this is more on this. They're taking advantage right now of the shittiest time I've ever seen in the NFC. This is a transition going on right now, quarterback play, especially in the NFC. That conference is terrible. And that's nothing on the Eagles. That's everyone else. That's their problem, not yours. Okay? That is not your problem. Rest of the conference sucks. So what? Look what you got. You got an aging Brady. You got an aging Aaron Rodgers. You got an aging Matthew Stafford. The Eagles are getting better, not just getting better as a team, but the conference is getting worse every week. The Bucs were killed by a team that has already surrendered in Carolina. They ran the ball for 160 yards on the Bucs last week. How could that be? They just got rid of McCaffrey. Bucs, I mean, it's crazy to watch. Okay? Hurts will be better than Jeff Blake. Jeff Blake, that's funny. Bills have weaknesses. They have no running game and can't control the clock. That's a problem they have. It is a problem. That's why teams come back on them. That's why teams come back a little bit on Kansas City as well. Kansas City don't have a running game. Both those teams struggle in that running game. You know why? Because their quarterbacks hide it. Jalen can't hide any deficiencies on that team. He doesn't have the ability to win a game in the air. If that running game gets stopped in Philly, you're not winning throwing the ball. He is getting better, though. 007. I don't think so much that Stafford sucks. I think that offensive line is atrocious in Los Angeles. I think that line in LA, man, they did, you know what? And they have no money and they have no assets to upgrade. Like they can't go into free agency or they can't ask as the trading deadline on November 1 comes around where they can do anything. What are they going to move? Cooper Kupp? Dude, if I'm them, you got to start thinking about trading Aaron Donald. You're like, never. Well, what are you going to do then for the next 3 years? What are you going to do? You have nothing. You're going to have to make a tough Seattle move. Look at what Pete Carroll did. Pete Carroll said, I got to get out of this thing here with Jamal Adams. You know, he surrendered those 3-1s with the Jets. And he's like, we have nothing. We have nothing. So what did they do? They moved their best player like Jimmy moved Herschel Walker. The Rams are in that same, hey, you're either going to have to move Cooper Kupp or you're going to have to move Aaron Donald. And I might want to move Aaron Donald because he's talking retirement. You might want to get that guy's ass out of there. You first-round draft choices. You don't have a first-round draft choice until like 2025. What are you going to do for the next 3 years? Sit around and suck? Okay. I guess that's the price for winning a Super Bowl. You can't do anything. Did anyone see the Jets at 5-2? No. No, not at all. Nobody wants Kupp? Well, I think Green Bay would want him. I think Green Bay would take him. Big Swales, what does Jalen have to do to get some serious consideration from you? He is getting serious consideration from me. I picked his team to go to the Super Bowl. Dude, you have me wrong here. The problem with you guys is you're rushing to judgment. Like Merrill Reese said, it's 6 games. Merrill said it. It's 6 games. Relax. Let it happen. Generically. He's not there yet. He's not there. You guys are all talking about projection and potential. 2 words that mean you haven't done shit yet. That's what that is. When you watch him play, he's getting better. Relax. Everyone has to just relax here. Big Sills, what does Jalen... Okay. Do you pick this team to go to the Super Bowl because of Hurts or everything else on the team? Maniac, because of everything else on the team. It's the most complete team in the league. I've been saying that for months now. You got the best offense, best O-line, best group of receivers with the tight end. Your running game's really good. Your defense is good enough. Your coaching has been a surprise, except for your DC. There's not a team in the league, especially in the NFC, that has all those components. Watch this. You think Dallas's offense is great? I don't. I don't. I think CeeDee Lamb is the most overrated wide receiver in the NFL. When I see CeeDee Lamb, let me make a comparison to you. How much better do you think CeeDee is than Quez? A little bit? Maybe that's not a fair comparison. I'm trying to think of another guy. Adam Thielen. Something like Adam Thielen. Okay? Okay, CeeDee's probably better than Quez a lot. Okay. But I see I see a ton of drops with that guy. Okay, Devonta Smith. But Devonta Smith don't drop balls, man. He don't drop footballs. Tell you what, if Devonta Smith was in that Cowboy offense and he was the number 1 guy in that Cowboy offense, he'd have more yards and catches than CeeDee Lamb. And if A.J. Brown was on that Cowboy team, shit, man, CeeDee Lamb would never see the field. Okay? He'd be a machine over there. Honestly, man, if you put Devonta Smith on that Cowboy offense with Dak Prescott, that guy might be leading the NFL in catches. He don't drop the ball like CeeDee. I'm not a fan of that guy. Dude, Zach Martin's good. They got some good players. The kid they drafted in the O-line in the draft is panning out to be pretty decent. They goofed on him, but he's looking like he's pretty good. But that offense is nothing like it was 3 years ago. And you know what? Quite frankly, when you look at Zeke Elliott, I don't know, 65 yards a game. Is that elite? $20 million? I don't know, man. They don't have a better running game than Philly. That's for damn sure. Dude, CeeDee's not, I just don't see elite. Anything that wouldn't take Cooper Kupp is Tony, absolutely. But again, you have to have a prolific passer to help him. Okay, Jared Goff and him were not a gigantic tandem. They weren't one of the best 1-2 tandems in the league. When Stafford got there, they were. You look at his numbers, man. They were Hunter Renfro-ish. Xander's like CeeDee is this year what Devonta was last year. CeeDee needs another number 1. Yeah, but here's something that I'll tell you. I think Devonta Smith's probably a better teammate because CeeDee Lamb is probably going to complain and bitch if he doesn't get targets. Devontae's not going to. See, I'm with Devonta on this one. Dude, if I have 2 catches or I have 12 catches, if we're 7-0, doesn't matter. Okay? He's part of the equation. You know when you guys say sometimes that statistics are really not about the true story of what's going on? Do you know what you have with the Eagles that makes it exceptional? You got great teammates. You got guys coming in, lending a hand. You got guys like Jack Driscoll that go from guard to tackle to guard to a right guard to a left. You don't have, can you imagine what the media outrage would be if this were the Cowboys, the Eagle team were the Cowboys, and all of a sudden Devonta got a goose egg when it came to targets? People would be screaming in the locker room trying to come up with bullshit between these guys, and they would try to divide him. You see what Jerry Jones said today? This is the perfect reason why the Eagles clearly going to win the NFC East. You hear what the owner said? You imagine Jeffrey Lurie coming out and says, hey, I'd like to see Jalen Hurts outside the pocket more and throwing the ball a little more. I think it would open up our offense. He said that today about Dak Prescott. I'd like to see Dak get out in the Jerry, you're not a football guy. You pretend you are. You know how much I revere the Joneses, but this is the problem since Jimmy Johnson left. Let the football people run your freaking team. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. If I'm the Eagles, I love hearing that. So where's Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore in that conversation in Dallas? Think about that. So your head coach, your OC, here's your owner going, I'd like to see Dak. What are you going to do? You're going to roll Dak more? So you're going to roll $42 million. Okay. Good luck to you, kid. I hope you don't get him killed because you don't have the O-line to protect him that Philly does on protecting Jalen Hurts. Dude, you need Dak. If you want to go far in the playoffs with your defense, and you upgraded today getting that tackle from the Raiders, you want to go far in the playoffs, you need to protect Dak Prescott because Cooper Rush, stop with that shit. He's no better than Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew is not leading a team to the Super Bowl. With Nick Foles, see, you got to remember something about Foles. Foles was a Pro Bowler. Everyone's like, yeah, well, he was the backup quarterback. Yeah, well, that guy had a Pro Bowl in him, right? Foles was a Pro Bowl guy. We're not talking about substitute guy that sucked, that sat there like that guy Chase Daniels. He's not Chase Daniels or Gardner Minshew or any of them dudes. This guy was a Pro Bowler. I mean, that one year that he had 26 TDs and 2 picks, I was like, what? That's like Aaron Rodgers' year. Rashad, didn't Fields remind you of Hurts last night? Rashad, at the beginning of the program, that's exactly what I said that I think they're starting to do in Chicago. I think because now it's a duplicate, it's a league where we all know this. They're going to go out there and they're going to copy. It's a copycat league. I think they're taking the pages out of what Philly's doing, and they're going to create an offense in Chicago. And if they do that, this kid may have a chance. That's the best I've seen Justin Fields look since he was at Ohio State. And like Xander said, and that team doesn't have shit on it. I mean, there is nothing on that football team that I go, yeah, you know what? I don't think hey, how about this? I don't think that there's a guy on that Bears offense that could start in Philly. Okay? I don't think there's a guy on that team. Long live Jerry Jones. Yeah. Dallas will crumble in December. Yeah, because the owner will get in the way. Dude, get out of the way. Again, maybe if you're the Philadelphia Eagles, you love hearing that. The owner's barking again. Undermining the head coach, Mike McCarthy. Man, I'll tell you this. You really think the Dallas Cowboy coaching job is a good job? You're automatically emasculated by the owner. When you say yes, you're a slave to him and his ways. you don't mind taking direction from your GM and your coach or your personnel people, but do it in private. Jerry should have easily just went to him in private and said, hey, what do you think about rolling him more? Get him out in space. And let Mike McCarthy make that comment. Jerry wants to be the star of the team, though. When your owner's the face of your team, don't you think you have a problem? The face of the Philadelphia Eagles is Jalen Hurts. It's Jalen Hurts. Face of the Bucs is Tom Brady. There's no place in sports where the owner is the face. You know what had happened? George Steinbrenner was that. But George Steinbrenner let his baseball people be baseball people. And that's why George won. Steinbrenner's probably the greatest owner in sports. And here comes down to what I've been telling you about the Cowboys. Which makes more money? That's what Jerry Jones does. That's right. That's why Jerry Jones is the #1 television show every year. That's all he gives a shit about. See how me talking about him right now? Jerry wants that. Winning. He is winning. He is winning. All right, let me take a timeout. Appreciate it. Please hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show.